These doodles are from a MacLab alumni who went on to community college, got her certificate, became a phlebotomist, and has worked several years in the field. And she brought with her a new iPad Pro, which had, she's continued to work on this, and it had the most beautiful, expressive characters that I've seen in a long time. It just was remarkable how far she's pushed her art since leaving the Mac Lab and starting a career. She kept referring during our conversation back to the 5 stages of the creative process. And here we have an intro. Now, the 5 stages of the creative process do indeed play directly into art, but they also play into every endeavor you'll ever undertake that involves creative thought. They won't come into play if you're digging a hole, if you're mowing a lawn, if you're fixing an engine. It's not part of it. But when your task involves creativity, and this could be writing a paper, it could be anything, the 5 stages come into play. So I'm not making this a required quest, but I am strongly suggesting you consider sometime, I'm going to leave this here for a while, as I will leave the growth versus fixed mindset quest. And these are store item contained quests where you'll discover a link that leads you out to the information and instructions right here on what to do. If you have a fixed mindset, you are harming yourself. And a fixed mindset is not something you're born with. It's not in your DNA. It's something you learned. Because when you were young, you had a growth mindset. And somewhere between then and now, parts of you, it's not an either or proposition. There are parts of you that just say, I'm not good at that. So there's also multi-stage quests here. And eventually I will add the part about making visual representations of these two, but it's not there right now. The writing, the reading, the thinking, the research, all that comes in first, and you're going to find out how and why in the 5 stages. Then we also have balance left over from last week that you may or may not have done, and a new sales project. When you bring clients into the Mac Lab, come talk to me, and we'll talk about what tier you may claim for bringing work in. And if you've done so in the past and did not get credit for it, come talk to me and we'll work this out, right? Coders, I still want you to do for GitHub Adventure. This is something, if you're writing code, I want this done. Okay, this is important. But first and foremost, before anything else, every single person in the Mac Lab is required to do this quest. There'll be a video there that explains it. It's pretty straightforward. Those of you who are doing what you're doing and you don't have to be told and you already get what we're doing, thanks, sorry. But I do want to make others understand that there are consequences that I need to enforce this idea of the early bird bonus and bogus. And if you haven't clicked on the bogus in a while, these have been adjusted to represent a more serious consequence to what amounts to academic dishonesty lying in the Mac Lab. I have people claiming the bell-to-bell bonus who sit there talking half the period. I have people who are tardy claiming the bell-to-bell bonus. I don't understand. Same thing with the early bird. Some students who come into class early will pull out their phone, which is completely permissible. Talk to their friends, no problem. And once the bell rings, then they put away their phone. then maybe wrap up their conversations, then click this. I'm sorry. The early bird means you were in the room. You began working before the bell. You're not just sitting there occupying space. You're not just logged in. And bell to bell, you guys understand what this is about. It doesn't mean if you talk to your friend, you have eliminated this possibility, but it does mean that you did significant work. You understand? And do not just click this after watching the video. And I know there are people in the room going, what was that? What was that? I never saw that before. I know. That's the problem. Because you're supposed to scan this page. Hey, did you even know ASB elections were coming up? Did you know that this was sitting there? Did you know this, and this? I want you guys to understand that it's your responsibility to take a peek at this page, not just watch that video, move on, and start flapping your jaws. All right. Thank you. That went on longer than I wanted it to, but important. Now do this before anything else, please. Thank you.